What's going on, everyone? Today we have the 2020 Honda CRV, which is refreshed for this year. Now, as we go through this, my question for you is, as I show you everything that's new, did Honda do enough? I'm going to show you what's new on the exterior, the interior, but I'm not going to be able to take this for a drive. I'm sorry about that. It is already sold. If you want to see a test drive of the CRV, I have a 2019 model in the description below. And before we get started, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to Honda Cars of Rockwall for letting me bring this out and show you guys. If you're in the DFW area, be sure to check them out. I'll put their information in the description below. And if you want to see just what's new, just highlighting the new stuff, I've got a video with that and a 2019 CRV Touring where I go through the different trims as well. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. So here's the 2020 Honda CRV Touring. And to start out, this front end is definitely different than the last generation. And you can see one of the main things is at the bottom, you've got the large openings and kind of that silver piece, that chrome and silver piece running down at the bottom that wrap around that. And one difference is that the very bottom is black instead of silver, probably because of that new silver piece we have. The whole front bumper is redesigned. There's less of the body color and more of the dark black color. The fog lights are different as well. We now have LED fog lights when they didn't used to be LED, and they're now circle instead of oval. Another big difference is this grille. It's more of a blackout style. You've got a black piece running across instead of the silver piece or the chrome piece. You still have some chrome running over the top, but overall it's a little bit more of a sleek black grille design. Honda said that they actually updated these headlights. We have LED headlights right here on the Touring. Still get the LED turn signal, LED daytime running light in those as well. They look pretty sleek, and if I get this at nighttime, I'll give you a night demo of these lights, but I can't do that right now. But the rest of the models still get halogen lights, which is disappointing. Another difference here is that we've got this blue color, which is new for the CRV. It comes over from the Civic. Let me know what you think. I think it looks pretty nice. It's got a little bit of a metallic-y flake to it, and it fits the CRV pretty well. It's a little bit unique for the CRV, but I like it. There's also a radiant red metallic and a sonic gray pearl available, which is new for 2020. One of the big differences is the wheels. So now we have 19-inch wheels on this top Touring model. It's a 10-spoke design, and they used to get 18-inch wheels. The EX and EX-L also get redesigned wheels, even though those are still 18-inch. And then on the side of the vehicle, it's pretty much unchanged. Still got the same trim pieces, still got the turn signal in the mirror, the smart key system, all of that. And then the back is where we're going to find some more of the changes. So first of all, starting on these taillights, they still have the long and kind of lean LED light bars, still got that LED turn signal, but they're now smoked. So it's a darker housing for these taillights. Even that chrome piece running across is a darker chrome. So kind of made this look a little bit sleeker in the back, if you ask me. Same design, same shape, same suspension, all of that, but just a different color, kind of a different attitude with that. And then on the bottom, we have different exhaust pipes for the Touring model. They used to be just circular, but now they're more of a flattened out chrome, and then you still have a different trim piece running on the bottom of that bumper as well. So that is different than last year. One area where Honda continues to excel is their cargo area and just their overall space inside. And you still get this hands-free liftgate on this Touring trim. You also get a height adjustable cargo gate where you can push this button and adjust it. You can do that on the EX-L as well with their power gate, but it's not hands-free. And then once you get back here, you get 39.2 cubic feet behind the second row with a movable cargo floor. It is nice and convenient, a good space. And then almost 76 cubic feet with those seats folded down. Now taking a look back here in the cargo area, so you've got this cargo cover that is removable. You've got a light on each side, and you can pull this handle on both sides to fold those seats down. So that is nice. You've got a nice flat load floor when you get those down. And there's a spare tire under here as well, which is welcome. That stays the same. And now I just moved that tray out, and you can lift this up. See if I can do this with one hand. There we go. Now we got that up, and you've got some deeper pockets on the side, or you've just got a nice flat cargo floor, which is very convenient. On this 2020 model, the key fob is a smart key system all the way down to the EX trim level. It still is the same kind of key fob, but you get the remote start, which is really nice, and you can even walk away with the key fob and the vehicle will automatically lock, and you can have that on or off. And I like the way Honda's system works is all you got to do is touch that button to lock it, or you've got the sensor in the back to unlock it just like that, and it's usually pretty quick and responsive. The front seats of this 2020 Honda CR-V remain unchanged from the last generation. They are comfortable seats. I enjoy them. They seem to have decent enough bolstering and good enough cushioning. These touring model seats are leather, just like the EX-L seats as well. The heated seats are on the EX trim level and up, but one thing that you might have been looking for is ventilated cooled seats, and we don't get those on here. They're not even optional. I thought Honda would have added those, but you can't get them on the CR-V. You do get 2 position memory settings over here on the door. We've got a heated leather steering wheel on our trim. The heated portion is new for this touring model. These seats are 12-way power with 4-way lumbar support, which is really welcome. The passenger seat does not have adjustable lumbar support though, it's just 4-way adjustment. The steering wheel does have a manual tilt and telescoping option here, and it's got a pretty good range of motion, but as I've heard some others complain, it doesn't go quite as low as they would like, but it seems to work for me. All right, let's take a quick look at this interior. So things still look the same. You've got a nice soft padded armrest. You've got some decent storage area down below, and then you can see those memory settings on the door and automatic front windows, but not back windows. The buttons are still the same here with your lane keeping system, your collision system, traction control, and opening your trunk. In order to start it up, push button start. That is the same as before, but one major difference on the steering wheel is the EX-L and Touring still get leather, but now the Touring model gets a heated steering wheel standard. So that's nice to see. It's very welcome. The steering wheel is comfortable to hold on to as well. One function that remains the same is the rain sensing windshield wipers on the top Touring trim. Right in front of us, we still get the same information display that you saw on the other models with those gauges on the side. So 2020 stays the same. You still have the tachometer right up above, digital speedometer in the middle, and then information you can scroll through, like your navigation if you have it, your trip computer, and different settings if you want to go through that. Now, some of you may be wondering if there's anything different with this screen. On the Touring model, no. You still get the same 330 watt 9-speaker subwoofer system, but on the EX and EX-L, for your radio, you now get HD radio. The Touring is still going to have that like it used to, but now the lower 2 trims get that as well. Same volume knob, same quick action buttons, and some of you maybe aren't familiar with this. It's not quite as responsive as some other systems, but it does work. I really don't have any complaints with it, but it's just not as responsive as some other systems. Now, we still have the same gear shifter right here, except the hybrid is going to give you a push button shifter. And then one new addition is the auto stop start button over here that we didn't have in the 2019 models. And then the center console, this is the big part that's redesigned. So you've got a wireless charging pad, you've got a couple USB ports, one of them is a little bit faster charging, and then a normal charging one. Wireless charging is only on the Touring model, otherwise you'll just get a nice little pad. Same cup holders, which work well. They accommodate my bottle, which is pretty large. These trim pieces right here on both sides are different. Those are new for this 2020 Touring model. And then this is where some of the biggest changes happen. I really like Honda's center armrest. This is comfortable. You can move it forward as well. Then when you lift it up out of the way, you can have it set for a few different functions. You can have it just like this, where it's wide open. You've got one charging port in there instead of your USB ports. They used to be in here. You got one 12-volt power outlet. And then when you take this, a couple things here. You can fold it down just like that and have just a shelf under your armrest. Or you can slide that forward and have this entire area be a shelf or kind of sectioned off from the bottom. And then some of you may be wondering, is there a panoramic view monitor? No, there's not. There's still the same 3-tier dynamic backup camera views, but no panoramic view monitor available. Another question some of you may have is there a panoramic roof available? No, there's not. There's still just this regular moonroof. Now in the back seat of the 2020 Honda CR-V, nothing really has changed back here. They're the same comfortable seats. It's really spacious. Now this is just as spacious as vehicles that are much larger than this. For the dimensions, the interior space in here is phenomenal. So as you can see, sitting here behind myself, I've got good knee space, I've got good foot space, I've got pretty good headroom here as well, really good headroom in fact. And in the middle, we have a fold down armrest, which continues to be just like last generation. We still have the AC vents and the 2 USB fast charging ports below that as well from the EX trim level and up. These seats can recline a little bit, and The only problem though is that they can't slide. That's the only thing, and you have to reach up here in order to recline them. I can even sit in the middle without my head touching and still be okay with my feet, even though there's a small hump in the middle, but that's still really good. So starting on the LX model, the price is gonna go up from the 2019 to the 2020 model, $600. With that LX model, you're gonna get Honda Sensing Standard, which has been standard on these top trims and the EX and up, but now the base LX is gonna get that as well. And there's different names for each manufacturer, but Honda Sensing includes collision mitigation with forward collision warning, plus pedestrian detection, road departure mitigation with lane departure warning, and lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control with low speed follow, and their frontal crash prevention actually got a superior rating from the IIHS. And of course, there's still some other available features like blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic monitoring, and automatic high beams. Now under the hood, there are actually some changes, although not on this touring model. The base LX loses its 2.4 liter naturally aspirated engine, so this 1.5 liter turbo is what every single CRV gets, no options for anything else. Personally, I would have liked to have seen the 2.4 liter engine stick around and maybe even be optional on other trims, but this is the one that you get. This has more horsepower and 1 less pound-feet of torque, and the biggest difference driving it day to day is that it's going to be a little bit punchier without having to get into the throttle as much, coming with the turbo, and this is a more efficient vehicle with the turbo compared to that naturally aspirated engine. Now there's one surprise though, the miles per gallon actually went down 1 notch on these 2020 models for all-wheel drive on the highway. It went from 33 on the highway to 32 on the highway. But the front wheel drive stays the same across the board. With this 1.5 liter turbo, you get 28 in the city, 34 on the highway, which is very good. They all still come with the same CVT transmission, and the big news is now for 2020, there's gonna be a hybrid model, and I'm excited to get my hands on that. Comment below if you wanna see a video and a test drive on that. So after seeing everything for this 2020 Honda CRV Touring, what do you think of the changes on the front and on the inside and even the new hybrid model? Regardless of what Honda did, they made improvements of an already nice vehicle and a good selling vehicle at that. Leave your comments down below on what you think. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.